How you doing? And welcome back to Objectively Biased Sports with me, your host, the objective one, the Fog, Steve Fogmec. And today we're going to discuss a topic that is very sensitive and is always discussed, but there's never any resolution to it. And that's whether or not student athletes should be paid. I believe they should. What say you? I'm going to give you the information you need as to why they should be paid. Without further ado, let's make it happen. So what brought me into this conversation? Well, the fact that former Florida State University head coach Jimbo Fisher just received a contract from Texas A&M worth $75 million over the course of 10 years. $75 million over the course of 10 years. Yet student athletes can't get a free lunch from Subway without it being considered a rules violation by the NCAA, therefore getting them suspended. That's crazy. And it brings me to the first topic at hand when it comes to student athletes, amateur status. They're supposed to file prior to going to school and prior to participating in their athletic program. They're supposed to file the affirmation of amateur status. That is a 440-page book that comes with your signing saying, I'm an amateur, therefore I cannot be compensated, therefore I cannot be covered from a health insurance aspect, meaning the university is not held accountable. If I get hurt and I can't play, hey, too bad. That's on you, not on me. Okay? Like, really, you go to work, we have workers' compensation, right? I get hurt on the job, I file, I can get paid. Now it's paid peanuts, but hey, what the hell? At least I'm getting something. Like I said, these kids can't even bargain or cut a deal to get a tattoo for free because it's a problem and it's a violation. And that 440-page book that they're handing 18-year-olds to read saying these are all the things you can't do once you file for your amateur status in college athletics. Allow that to sink in. So not only does the university not pay these athletes, but then they have absolved themselves from any type of payment from an insurance aspect when it comes to injuries, which leads me right into the scholarship. See, the scholarship, it's supposed to be a free education that the university is extending to the student athlete. Yes, a free education worth whatever thousand of dollars, and they have X amount of scholarships that they have to offer. But it doesn't equate to the fact that these universities are making millions of dollars. The scholarship reads its terms and conditions in a similar fashion of a contract, meaning you have to maintain a certain grade point average, which is above the regular grade point average that is offered to students, number one. Number two, if the sport you're participating in, your performance isn't up to the standard that they expected you, they actually have the right to take your scholarship away. Holy shit, wait a minute. I thought I was getting a free education for my services, but now you're telling me that my services have a standard that I have to live up to. Wow, sounds like work to me on top of studying, but okay. Number three, and very important, you can have your scholarship taken away from you. Yes, you can have your scholarship taken away from you if you get hurt. How ironic is that? Remember, let's refer back to the beginning of the video when I was talking about amateur status and how the universities have absolved themselves from any type of payment when it comes to an athlete getting injured. And now they can not only not have to pay you if you get injured, but they can take your they can take your scholarship away from you. Wow, what a free education. And for those of you who don't think that actually happens, take a look at this, because it actually does.
Hardrick was so good that Oklahoma offered him a basketball scholarship in 9th grade. But after a knee injury during practice his freshman year, he lost his scholarship. And with medical bills piling up, he couldn't afford to stay in school.
If it was workman's comp, my son would have been taken care of for the rest of his life. He would have been able to finish his college.
Yes, they took away his scholarship. He had to leave school because his scholarship was his free ride. See, student athletes, there are very few student athletes that know they're going to go pro. So many of these scholarship athletes, they turn around, they're taking that scholarship because they can't afford to get the goddamn education in the first place. Holy shit, that's 80% of the population. They're using that scholarship so they could get that education that they need, so they could go out into workforce and perform, so they could provide for themselves, they could provide for their families. Yet the universities want to turn around and say, hey, if you're not what I want, well, sorry, let me take that away. You want to put that into context? Go to your job. Go to your job one day and let them turn around and say, hey, we're not going to pay you anymore with money. We're going to offer you a discount on everything in the store. It's for free, basically. So you can get some honey bunches of oats and some milk for free. You know what you're going to tell your job? Go fuck yourself. I want the money. And that's exactly what the scholarship is. This isn't compensation for them to go be able to have spending money, pocket money to maybe go out and buy something to eat. No, this is just here for your education. I've never eaten an education before, have you? Come on, let's be honest. But let's dive into this even further because see, these universities turn around, they scream they're losing money. Everyone's losing money. Only 10% of the universities, according to Dr. Emmett Brown, are actually making a profit. Focus on that word profit. You're going to hear it again in the next 2 minutes. Yes, they're only making a profit. Here's the problem. They're a nonprofit organization. So they have to spend all their earnings in order to maintain their nonprofit status. Holy shit. So when people turn around and argue, these guys are getting a free education. Look at the state-of-the-art facilities they're going to. Where do you think all that money is coming from? No, that shit just didn't fall from the sky. They weren't driving behind an armored truck and it popped open and millions of dollars fell out. No, they're spending the money that they could be giving these students who at times have nothing to eat. Don't believe me? Well, here's someone who has a Stanford education who is a successful cornerback in the NFL. Richard Sherman. Listen to what he had to say.
You wake up in the morning, you have weights at this time. Then after weights, you go to class. And after class, you go maybe try to grab you a quick bite to eat. Then after you get your quick bite to eat, you go straight to meetings. And after meetings, you got practice. And after practice, you got to try to get all the work done you had throughout the day. I would love for a regular student to have a student athlete schedule during the season for just one quarter or one semester and show me how you balance that.
Well, I guess that's right to the point. But no, don't allow that to confuse you at all or skew you from the fact that, nah, they're getting a free education. See, there's nothing free in this life. Not a goddamn thing. Everything has something attached to it. There's some sort of string right there to pull that free right out of your hand. And the NCAA is doing a wonderful job at it. They're pumping all of this money into these facilities. University of Alabama has a whirlpool. If you're not familiar, I played football. I played it at the college level. I know what a whirlpool is. They have state-of-the-art whirlpool in their facilities that are the size of an Olympic swimming pool. Did they really need all of that? Are these students really benefiting off of all these wonderful amenities that you're providing for them in order for you to give them the scholarship? Say, hey, this is what you're really getting, and the scholarship's only to get you in here because you can't afford to get in here. And because, well, you're a top-tier athlete and we want you to continue to make money for our program. If you're not for paying these student athletes, that's fine, but also be not for these universities exploiting these kids and taking them to the shaft for money. They're making money off of their likeness on commercials. They're making money off of jersey sales. They're making money hand over fist over these college students who happen to play a sport for them that has now become a source of revenue. Don't tell me that these kids don't deserve to be paid. Listen, we fucked up education in this country as it is. And now we're continuing to screw over our student athletes because, well, it benefits us, meaning the educational institution that's supposed to be providing a proper education, but really isn't. They've turned education into a business and athletics as that means to that income they're receiving. I have no problem, like I said, with not paying them. But if you don't want the student athlete to be paid, then don't have the universities exploit them. And in the spirit of Christmas, I'll make this reference. What universities do to students, well, that's similar to the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You're waiting for that Christmas bonus, and all you get is a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club for a whole year. Your response would be just like this.
And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah! Holy shit!
And with that being said, thank you for watching Objectively Biased Sports. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel Objectively Biased. Follow me on Instagram _The Fog, and on Twitter handle The Fog at @SFogMeg. You can also catch me on 2 Minute Warning Fury. Subscribe to that one too, every Tuesday at 8. It's the best football show with the best football information you'll ever get, with the most gracious hosts, Shim and Tim. Again, watch me, share me, subscribe to the goddamn channel, and most importantly, enjoy.